So the Daily Beast has it, Republicans and Democrats quietly consider a speaker deal. It doesn't name a lot of names. I'm not saying this is, by the way, Kevin McCarthy. He's been against this. But others who have said, you know what, if Kevin McCarthy can't get the votes and there's not really a secondary, we've now heard that a lot of that group of 20 wouldn't be so satisfied with Steve Scalise necessarily anyways.
And then you see these photo shots inside the House, and you got AOC meeting with, Matt Gaetz meeting with, it's folks, this could go in 100 wrong directions.
Hanging out with the AOC?
Yeah. I mean, the problem is these things are legally possible.
Yeah. No, you don't have to have just Republican votes to get a speaker or just Democrat votes to get a speaker. You could have a group of Democrats and Republicans who say, I am sick and tired of this. And I've worked in countries where they've come up with these power sharing deals where they'll say, okay, you get it for a year and then we get it for a year. Or you get the speakership, we get half the committee chairs, or we get divided committees like the Senate kind of was, like 50-50 committees, which would, again, hamper the entire Republican victory. Yesterday was a speech. I don't remember which congressman. It was one of the 20 who's opposed. But he talked about the unanimous consent and how that happens on Mondays. And usually it's names of post offices and things like that and buildings. But then it adds up to hundreds of millions of dollars that your member of Congress, Rick, never voted on. And that it's not so much that it's controversial in naming the post office after somebody who passed away who was a well-known figure in a community, but it's that there might be 90% of that legislation is done like that, but then there's 10% done by unanimous consent on Monday when no one's there, and that is substantive, and that the taxpayer is on the hook for paying. And that, so I do think, and maybe Kevin McCarthy was referencing that too, we do need rule changes away from how the Democrats were governing.
Look, let me tell you a dirty little secret about unanimous consent on Mondays. It's because nobody's there. They're still in their districts. And they want to move business along as quickly as they can and do things where we don't need everybody signing off. But they've abused it. Instead of just doing simple administrative things on Monday that can move forward on unanimous consent, they're putting big budget spending issues through on unanimous consent. That should really make people angry about it. Look, I think that one of the things that Kevin's got to do is tell all offices to come back to work. The COVID is over. You got to come back.
I do agree.
You can't work from home. And why, if we're paying them a full salary, why are they not working full time Monday through Friday in Washington, D.C.? I'm all for making them work Fridays and Mondays. Certainly for the Senate, we got to say you got to work Mondays, Tuesday morning, and Thursday afternoon and Fridays. That should be a mandate, because right now they go into session on Tuesdays and they're done, Thursday morning. And so no wonder we can't get a lot done.
It's not so much the person, understand this. It's brokering changes in the rules. Some of them I think are great. 72 hours before you sign $1 trillion bill. Good idea. Okay? Yeah. I mean, I think those are good. Reducing the threshold on the speaker is removal to that number of 5 to 1. I think really it puts the governance in danger, but okay, you could live with that. The problem is what else is left to do?